Calling South Africans xenophobic and hateful has become such a norm. Initially, most of us would go out of our way to explain that we are not xenophobic, but would rather appreciate a little respect from people who are visiting our country or those that have been opportuned to be granted South African residence through the proper channels. But why are Black South Africans accused of such? And why do they seem so unbothered over these allegations and such name calling? Now, we have opened our borders, airports, railways, roads to non South Africans from all over the globe. Currently, we have an increase in Americans that are moving to South Africa. We have Angolians, we have Ghanaians, Egyptians, Zambians, Congolese. We have Senegalese, Malawians, Ethiopians. The list is endless, not forgetting Europeans and Asians, of course. Now, upon hosting all these nations, all these people from outside South Africa, why were we only xenophobic to a handful of nations? I've never really heard of a South African attacking people from Botswana, Namibia, Ghana, Senegal, Cameroon, Ivory Coast, Congo, or many other countries. Now, through most African nations, we have a serious problem of bribery within our police force. Money brings the downfall of many men. Money is the root of all evil. It's the one thing that's unlikely to fail when it comes to tempting someone. Policemen and women are no exception. After all, they're also human beings with many financial problems and many desires that can only be satisfied with money. This has led many law enforcers to go astray, accepting money in exchange of turning a blind eye to the evil that they see. And if your price is right, they will even assist you in committing that evil. This has led to many South Africans losing trust in the police and the legal system in the country. And because some of the destruction has reached a point where it is affecting families on the ground directly and in a very brutal and fast manner, the community has started taking matters into their own hands. So tell me, if you had an 18-year-old son with a very promising future who is in matric and you can see that they're really doing well, then suddenly you experience having to watch him dissolve right in front of your face. You watch and witness your child turning into a useless zombie, a street hobo, a drug addict with no hope, a child that is ready to steal, kill, and lie just to get their next fix. Months go by, and you're living with what has become a curse to your life. Then you learn that many parents in your area are going through the exact same situation and pain. Then you find out that the person your son buys from is another teenager who stays just 2 blocks away and who gets their supply every single Monday from a Nigerian person. You report this to the police, nothing is done. You report this to the police, nothing is done. In that case, you can call me xenophobic at any time. I'll swallow it with a glass of water. A few years ago, a friend of mine was a victim of human trafficking. She was shoved into a taxi, drugged, and stripped of all her clothing, raped by 3 different guys while in the taxi. The taxi was en route to wherever. It turned into a roadblock. The taxi was then stopped by the metros, but just accelerated and drove past. The metros then started a chase where my friend was thrown out of the taxi, unclothed and drugged. The second metro car continued with the chase, and upon investigation, it was discovered that the 3 guys were from Zim and the driver was a South African. Those guys who were taking the young lady to some Nigerian who had 7 other girls. So basically, those girls were providing a service to male clients and they were enduring the pain, they were enduring the embarrassment by force, and the money was being paid to this Nigerian guy. So, honey, you can call me xenophobic. I will swallow it with a glass of water. Now tell me, if you were to send your 7-year-old son to your local spaza shop, which is run by a gent from Pakistan, to get himself and his friends a couple of snacks, Then, a few hours after, you have to rush your child to a local clinic for diarrhea, vomiting, and all that other stuff, only to later be told that your child didn't make it. Now, upon investigation and tests, information comes out that your child had food poisoning and that the packet of Next that she ate earlier on contained the same poison found in her system. You can keep calling me a xenophobic South African. I'll still swallow it with a glass of water. As the careless South African that I am, do I deserve the struggle of having to go up and down, day in and day out to Home Affairs, trying to explain and justify that I am who I say I am, and constantly keep getting rejected and told there's nothing that they can do to assist me? Applying at educational institutes, getting rejected because I have no identity. Can't apply for jobs because I have no identity. Can't travel out of my own country, can't open accounts, can't start my own registered business, can't do anything. Because some Chioma Eze has lived as Unomalanga Nkosi for the past 23 years and has stolen my identity. If xenophobic is what I am, then let it be. I really don't mind it at all. That means I am a South African that is 100% xenophobic.